At Lincoln High School, a quiet sophomore named Amara Johnson faced a moment that would change her life and her school forever. When a group of bullies grabbed her collar in the hallway, expecting her to cower, Amara's response left everyone stunned and sparked a movement no one saw coming. Amara Johnson was 15, a black girl with a sharp mind and a reserved demeanor. She'd moved to the mid-sized town of Crestwood with her family the previous summer, starting at Lincoln High as a freshman. Her parents, both nurses, had raised her to value education and resilience, but Amara preferred to keep her head down at school. She excelled in math and history, joined the debate club, and spent her lunches reading in the library. But her quiet presence didn't shield her from the attention of a group of juniors who roamed the halls like they owned them. The group was led by Courtney Hayes, a 17-year-old with a knack for picking targets. Courtney, along with her friends Bailey, Lauren, and Jake, had a reputation for intimidating younger students. They'd mock kids for their clothes, shove them in the halls, or spread rumors online. Amara caught their eye early in her sophomore year. Her braided hair, thrifted jackets, and habit of walking alone made her an easy mark in their eyes. It started small, snickers when she answered questions in class, fake coughs calling her nerd as she passed by. Amara ignored them, focusing on her grades and her debate prep. But Courtney didn't like being ignored. By November 2024, the harassment escalated. During lunch one day, Bailey accidentally bumped Amara's tray, sending her food to the floor. The cafeteria laughed as Amara knelt to clean it up. Courtney filmed it, posting the clip to Snapchat with the caption, "Clumsy much?" Amara saw the video later, her face burning with embarrassment. She told her parents, who urged her to report it to the school. Amara hesitated. She'd seen other kids report bullying and get labeled as snitches, making things worse. Instead, she started taking different routes to class, avoiding Courtney's group. But the school was small, and there was no escaping them forever. The incident that changed everything happened on a cold Tuesday in January 2025. Amara was leaving debate practice, hurrying to catch her bus. As she walked through the main hallway, Courtney and her crew were leaning against the lockers, waiting for someone to mess with. When they spotted Amara, Courtney called out, "Yo, thrift shop, where you running to?" Amara kept walking, her eyes fixed on the exit. That's when Courtney stepped in front of her, blocking her path. Bailey and Lauren flanked her, while Jake hung back, smirking. A few other students lingered nearby, sensing trouble. Courtney grabbed Amara's jacket collar, yanking her forward. "I'm talking to you," she said, her voice loud enough to draw attention. Amara stumbled but caught her balance. Her heart raced, but she looked Courtney in the eye. "Let go," she said, her voice steady. Courtney laughed, tightening her grip. "Or what? You gonna cry?" Bailey chimed in. "Maybe she'll run to her mommy." The hallway grew quiet, with a dozen students watching, some pulling out their phones to record. Amara's next move shocked everyone. She didn't swing a punch or scream. Instead, she reached up, gripped Courtney's wrist, and twisted it just enough to loosen her hold. In one smooth motion, she stepped back, breaking free without escalating the fight. Then she spoke, her voice clear and calm. "You don't get to touch me. Ever." The words hung in the air. Courtney froze, her face a mix of surprise and anger. Bailey and Lauren exchanged glances, unsure what to do. Jake stopped smirking. The crowd murmured, some kids whispering, "Did you see that?" Amara didn't wait for a response. She adjusted her jacket, picked up her backpack, and walked out the door to catch her bus. The hallway buzzed behind her, students already sharing videos of the moment. By the time Amara got home, her phone was blowing up with notifications. The clip of her standing up to Courtney had gone viral within the school, shared across group chats and social media. Kids she barely knew texted her, some calling her brave, others just sending fire emojis. But Amara wasn't celebrating. She was shaken, worried about what would come next. Her parents noticed her quiet mood at dinner. When they asked, Amara told them everything, the months of harassment, the hallway incident, the video. Her mom, Lisa, was furious. "You're not going back there until we talk to the school," she said. Her dad, Michael, agreed but added, "You handled yourself well, Amara." I'm proud of you. They called the principal, Ms. Rivera, that night, demanding a meeting. Ms. Rivera, who'd seen the video, assured them she was investigating. We take this seriously, she said, but her tone sounded cautious. Amara's parents weren't convinced. The next morning, Amara stayed home while her parents met with Ms. Rivera and the school counselor, Mr. Patel. They brought screenshots of the Snapchat video, texts from Amara's classmates, and a list of incidents she described. Lisa laid it out plainly. My daughter's been targeted for months, and now she's physically assaulted. What are you doing about it? Ms. Rivera admitted the school had received prior complaints about Courtney's group, but said discipline had been challenging because Courtney's parents were influential in the community. Mr. Patel suggested mediation, which Michael shut down. This isn't a misunderstanding. It's bullying. Meanwhile, the video was spreading beyond Lincoln High. A local news outlet picked it up, running a story titled "Sophomore Stands Up to Bullies" in viral video. The article didn't name Amara or Courtney, citing their ages, but it quoted anonymous students praising the brave girl who refused to back down. Social media amplified it, with hashtags like #StandUp and #StopBullying trending locally. Some posts criticized Lincoln High's administration, accusing them of ignoring bullying until it went public. Pressure was mounting. Back at school, Courtney and her crew were called to the office. They denied starting the fight, claiming Amara had overreacted. But the video told a different story, and with parents and the press watching, Ms. Rivera had to act. Courtney, Bailey, and Lauren received a week's suspension, while Jake got 3 days for his role as a bystander. The school issued a statement about its zero-tolerance policy and promised to review its anti-bullying protocols. But for Amara, the suspensions felt like a bandage on a deeper wound. When Amara returned to school the following week, she noticed a shift. Some kids avoided her, worried about being seen with a troublemaker. Others, like her debate teammate Sophia, were supportive, walking with her between classes. A few seniors she'd never met gave her nods of respect in the halls. But the whispers followed her, and she knew Courtney's suspension wouldn't end the problem. She was right. Courtney returned, quieter but still defiant, glaring at Amara in the cafeteria. The tension was palpable. Amara decided she wasn't done. She'd stood up to Courtney, but she wanted to do more than just survive high school. During a debate club meeting, she proposed a project, a student-led anti-bullying campaign. Sophia and their coach, Ms. Ellis, loved the idea. They started small, organizing a workshop where students could share their experiences anonymously. Over 30 kids showed up, including some who'd never spoken out before. One boy admitted to being shoved in the locker room. A girl shared how rumors had isolated her. Amara listened, realizing she wasn't alone. The workshop grew into a movement. Amara and Sophia worked with Ms. Ellis to create a peer support group called Lincoln Stands Together. They trained students to intervene safely when they saw bullying, using techniques like distraction or reporting to staff. They also pushed for changes in school policy, presenting a petition to Ms. Rivera with 200 signatures. It called for mandatory anti-bullying training for teachers, clearer consequences for repeat offenders, and a confidential reporting system. Ms. Rivera was hesitant, citing budget constraints, but the petition's publicity forced her hand. By March 2025, the school board approved funding for the training. Amara's campaign didn't go unnoticed. A local nonprofit, Empower Youth, reached out, offering to partner with Lincoln Stands Together. They gave Amara a platform to speak at their annual gala, where she shared her story with 400 attendees, including community leaders. I didn't fight back with fists, she said. I fought back with words and action. Bullies want you to feel small, but you're stronger than they think. The crowd gave her a standing ovation. A clip of her speech went viral, this time nationally, with outlets like CNN covering the teen activist transforming her school. Courtney's group never targeted Amara again, but the dynamic shifted. Bailey and Lauren distanced themselves from Courtney, tired of the drama. Jake transferred to another school over the summer. Courtney stayed, but her influence waned. She graduated quietly, while Amara became a leader at Lincoln High. By her junior year, She was president of the debate club and a peer mediator for the support group. The school's bullying reports dropped by 20%, according to Ms. Rivera's annual report, though Amara knew the work wasn't done. Amara's parents watched her grow into a force they always knew she could be. Lisa framed the gala speech transcript, hanging it in their living room. Michael started volunteering with Empower Youth, inspired by his daughter. Amara herself stayed humble, still reading in the library at lunch, still taking the bus home. But she carried herself differently now, shoulders back, eyes forward. She'd turned a moment of fear into a legacy of change. By the time Amara graduated in 2027, Lincoln Stands Together was a model for other schools, adopted by 3 districts in the state. Amara went on to study political science at Howard University, aiming to advocate for youth on a bigger stage. The hallway incident, once a source of shame, became her origin story. She'd shocked everyone, not with violence, but with courage, strategy, and a refusal to let bullies define her. Lincoln High, and the thousands who heard her story, would never forget it.